And here we are. Welcome to Breakfast with Bacon. We have Doug Bacon, Managing Director, whose last name has inspired our series. We have Julie Zalua, fondly known by us as Jay-Z. She's our executive assistant and the wheels and engine that help take our ideas into reality. And then you have me, Lynn Ingersoll, your host. So what are we doing? Just to give you some context, we've been surprised in these times about what we're learning about working with each other and our clients. Although we have worked remotely for quite some time, it is amazing what we're learning. This week, we're focusing on communication. By the end of this session, you'll hear a little bit about what we're learning, and we'll hope that you can take away some things to apply to your personal and professional life. So Doug, why don't you share? I think you've got a couple of examples of communication that really landed with you this week. So what happened?
Yeah, two stories. The first is it's a text that I received from a client on Friday. And then the second was a conversation my mom and I were having over the weekend. Both that kind of gets to the idea of kind of communication. So the first story was on Friday, just got a text from a client that just said, checking in, wanted to see how you're doing, let you know I'm thinking about you. And it was succinct to the point. And knowing my client as I do, and we talk a lot about strengths. And so I know that he has lots of executing strengths, so he can make things happen. And so the fact that I would get just a kind of straightforward 2 sentences text versus a phone call versus any other kind of form of communication made sense in kind of what he was trying to accomplish. One, he wanted me to know I was thinking about him, and he let me know he was. And so the second story was one talking with my mom, who she had a message she wanted to deliver to a friend, the child of a friend of hers that we've known forever, and he's going through have a new experience potentially this fall, and she really wants him to be open to learning new things, and so she was trying to figure out what's she was going to call him or what that could look like, and I asked her that question. I said, well, what do you want to accomplish? And it was in asking that question that she was able to kind of just stop for a second and really kind of get clear about, well, what she wanted to accomplish was to deliver this message. It wasn't about him responding or to that or engaging in conversation about that. She just wanted him to know, hey, if this happens, I hope you're open to learning new things. And so she really didn't need to call him. She could actually send him a letter, and that would be as or more effective. And so it just struck me in both of these, kind of a couple of takeaways, a couple of nuggets for these, that with my mom, when we stopped and asked, what do you want to accomplish? What is your intention? Then it became clear what would be the best way to communicate. And then in thinking about my text exchange with my client, the takeaway really was knowing strengths, kind of having that awareness of myself, but also the awareness of others. And we use strengths and StrengthsFinder to do that. But those are kind of the takeaways, to be able to kind of think about what do you want to accomplish, what's your intention, and then how can you leverage your strengths and the strengths of others.
Great. Well, it sounds like you really were able to think through your own strengths and whoever you were talking to, whether it was professional or personal, and consider their strengths and what was required. So here we are. Strengths is such a core component to the work that we do. For many of you, in working with Doug and Jay-Z, you've received the little plaque that tells you your top 10, and this can be a perfect time to pull out your plaque, take a look at those strengths, and consider your own strengths and the strengths of anyone else that you're working with. How might you modify your own communication style to have a really satisfying and productive conversation or exchange with them, whether it's at work or whether it's at home? So we hope that based on what we've shared and what we've learned this week, that you'll go pull out your plaque, take a look at how you might modify your own communication to be the best communicator ever. Well, that's it for this week. We look forward to catching up with you next week. Bye-bye.